Is a bread maker or bread machine worth buying? Do you really need a bread maker? How do you use a bread maker? How much does it cost to make bread in a bread machine? Is baking your own bread at home worth it? So these are the questions that we will be seeking to answer in today's episode. Hello and welcome to Jikonimagic Meza. My name is Agnes Kalyonge, and with me over here I've got one loaf of bread. And just for clarity, I'm not targeting any company. This is just for purposes of demonstration and for this video, okay? So I'm placing a kitchen paper over the weighing scale because, well, it's from the supermarket and the paper might not be so clean. So let me tear this and then place the bread that I baked today right in the oven. It weighs 963 grams. Now finally, let's weigh the bread that we baked in the bread maker and see how much it weighs. And as you can see, it weighs 950 grams. All what you need is all-purpose wheat flour, you need salt, yeast, oil, sugar, milk powder, and of course a weighing scale. Okay, you could also use cups and spoons, which I also still do use, but when measuring out things like flour, I prefer to use a weighing scale. We'll start by weighing out the water. 360 ml, which is equivalent to 360 grams. Three tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 4 tablespoons of oil, 560 grams of all-purpose wheat flour, we also need a teaspoon of yeast, and then finally we need 4 tablespoons of milk powder. So I've decided to change from the hook attachment to the paddle attachment because the dough is a bit too wet, okay? And the paddle attachment would work much better for it. It's doing a much better job of scraping the sides, the bottom. Very nice job. Let's start working on the one that will go into the bread maker. So I've just taken out the inner pot or the loaf tin. So one thing you have to bear in mind when using the bread maker is that you must follow the manufacturer's instructions. There is a specific set of order that your ingredients have to go in as. So please make sure that you do not do your own things. And it's also important to use a set of spoons that came with the bread machine when you bought it. They are guaranteed to be more accurate as compared to the other kinds of spoons. So yeah. and we need a teaspoon of yeast. In case someone is wondering how I store my yeast, what I do is after I've opened the pack, pour it into this container, close it and put it in the fridge so that it can stay fresher for longer. Leaving it outside runs the risk of it becoming deactivated. And now that we finished weighing out all our ingredients, finding out what they cost, we still do not know what the electricity is going to cost us at the end of it all. And that's when we have this handy dandy gadget. This is an energy meter, and it will measure for us the amount of electricity that we're going to be consuming. Please stick around until the end so that we can find out how much electricity we consumed to bake both in the bread maker and in the oven. This is how an energy meter looks like. So you can be able to move around the different parts of it by pressing on this one, so you can always tell how many kilowatt hours you're going to consume after you have used whichever gadget you're trying to get the consumption of electricity for. That shows you the voltage. Kenya, we operate from 220 to 240. Today apparently it's 254.9 volts. Those are the amperes. I've not yet started the gadget, so it's still going to remain at 0.0000. The watts again 0. The energy meter is a gadget that I use so frequently during my live cooking demonstrations when I'm showing people how to use the electric pressure cookers. We have these energy meters, okay? And the purpose of the energy meters is to measure how much energy we've consumed. Yeah, that's the most important function. You can always tell the kilowatt hours that are running here, the amperes of your gadget and all that, but for us we are more interested in imetumia stima inatoshanaje pesa ngapi. That's all we want to do. Okay, so now we turn on the bread maker. And we're going to be making basic bread, which is setting number 1. As you can see here, basic setting number 1. I prefer a medium crust, not too dark, not too light. And we're going to be making the 950 grams loaf, and it's going to take 3 hours. And all I have to do is press the start or stop button, and that's it. It will call me once it's done. So now we're going to transfer the dough into the bread pan, and before we do that, just spray the pan so that the bread does not stick to the sides, okay? Are you liking what you're seeing so far? If so, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that anytime I post anything here, you will not miss out. Thank you for subscribing. So what I'm trying to do is to ensure that this length over here is the same as this. That's all, okay? So I'm gonna let this do the second rise in the pan for maybe 30-40 minutes again until it domes over the top, and we will put it into the oven. Now let's look at how our breads have baked. And now let's see how the inside of the oven baked loaf looks like. The bread is very, very hot. Now let's cut into the loaf of bread. See how it looks like now that it's cooled down. Look at how nicely it baked. I like mine with butter and peanut butter and honey, but unfortunately I'm out of peanut butter, so for today just butter and honey. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just the best sight for sore eyes? Guys, so let's check on how much electricity was consumed by the bread maker and the oven. So here are the two energy meters. This one belongs to the bread maker here, okay, and this one goes all the way to the back to the oven. So for the bread maker we consumed 0.325 kilowatt hours, and for the oven 1.191 kilowatt hours. So we're going to calculate this and see exactly how much it costed us to bake bread. So now let me give you my personal opinion and verdict on the whole debate that we've been having today. For me, the bread maker is irreplaceable, if you ask me. The convenience for me is unrivaled, honestly. All I have to do is dump in the ingredients and then go sit down, cross my legs, take a cup of tea or whatever it is I want to do, and ikimaliza kupiga inanipigia kengele, inaniambia, Agnes, come pick your loaf, it's ready, eat it, you know. I mean, Why go through the process of kukanda unga, rolling it, letting it proof? Let the machine do that for me. Number 2, we have seen the cost. The cost of using the bread maker. I mean, what are we even talking about? You have seen how much more it costs to turn on my big oven to bake just 1 loaf of bread. The other convenience that is worth mentioning is the fact that my bread maker has a delay function that is very easy to set, okay? Whatever time I go to bed, I can always tell the bread maker to bake my bread and maybe have it ready by 7, 8, 9 a.m. depending on what time we are planning to be waking up. And waking up to the aroma of freshly baking bread is wow. You just have to experience it. So thank you so much for having stuck until the end. Until next time, please keep it Jikoni magic. Bye bye.